Welcome to 709 Meridian, the only audio commentary podcast called 709 Meridian. I'm Andrew.
And I'm D.
And so this is our second episode, and we're doing the Halloween movies.
Delving into the bowels of the Halloween franchise.
All of them, but maybe not the right zombies.
Every single one of them.
And we'll talk about the producer's cut. Like, I definitely think we should do Halloween 6 next, just to get it over with.
It's going to have to be next, because
we got to get it over with. And then
we're trying to go upward, you know.
Yeah,
somewhat upward, I guess.
We're going to end up upward, yeah. And then, but I was like, we could do hospital ones, but then it turns out this one's a hospital one, and the next one's not a hospital one. So traditionally, that would be Halloween 2. But I'm thinking 6 because we got to get it over with. I can't. We'll talk about it. I can't handle that much desperate Donald Pleasence. So this is also, if you're not watching this on YouTube, where we've got it queued up with the start of the movie. We are watching a DVD, not the new one, but like the last one out, so it's fine. The full runtime's like 1:36 and 58 seconds. And so you can queue up with that, and then we'll walk through the opening title. We'll describe it. We'll say them.
We'll let you know
presents. Yeah, we'll let you know. It'll be fun. Okay, so we're going to get started. And is there anything else? YouTube, podcast? No. So, all right, let's get going. All right, 709meridian.com. Don't forget, we actually have that. .com. All right, and starting in 3, 2, 1, play. Mustafa Akkad presents Donald Pleasence in Okay, so this was actually, I watched this last week, and this was actually the first time I ever watched it. The last time I tried watching it, when I got the big box set, I couldn't fucking watch it. Because, like, 4's all right, you know? Like, I'd never seen 4, but then it was fine. And I was like, 5 will be fine. No, 5 shit.
Is good. 4 is really good.
So, yeah. So, real quick, or not real quick, what the hell? I listened to both commentary tracks, the director and the two kid actors, and then the Don Shanks one. And so they were really proud of these opening titles. And I was like, this is the worst fucking Halloween opening title ever. It looks like...
Well, it's trying to be,
Friday the 13th, right? Like, it is kind of...
Well, yeah, with the way the credits are up and all over the place. And of course, a pumpkin. So it's,
right. And
Halloween.
Don Shanks, the guy who plays Michael, he's like an expert at knife work. That's his bladed weapons or whatever, edged, sharp blades. Anyway, so like, yeah, this was a thing. There was a sickle in there, which will, I think, be important later. But yeah. So, all right. Right off.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the end of 4. But right off, everything that I thought about this movie, watching it, the audio commentaries proved all of it wrong. Like... Everything that I was like, oh, that was like kind of inventive. Nope. There's not a Frankenstein reference in this. There's not a Bride of Frankenstein reference.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they go there.
They don't. They didn't mean to. It was supposed to be a punk rock young guy who was practicing Wicca and bringing him back. We'll talk about that too, because I actually got the new 4K DVD remaster thing, and it has the scene, because Don Shanks says the thorn thing was drawn on him during the scene with the original guy. And I was like, well, that entirely fucking changes what the Thorn thing means. And nobody had mentioned it in any of the reviews. The problem is that that's not in there. So it was like totally pointless to watch it. It was just some shitty thing that I had to get the 4K thing to watch. So, okay. But this, right? They're shooting him. He falls down the thing like the end of what? Frankenstein 1 and Ghost of Frankenstein.
Ghost of Frankenstein.
Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, right?
Because he's frozen at the beginning of Frankenstein meets the Wolfman.
Right, but because he slid down. But don't they go down into...
Yeah, he's down in the bowels somewhere in a block of ice. Again,
right, but he falls down a mine at least one other time. And I was like, oh, it's a reference to the Universal horror movies. Is like this Michael Myers is a monster movie.
But around the same time they did what was it? Jason Lives. Yeah. And the opening to that was kind of a homage to the Universal.
They did a better job of that, though.
Yeah, they did.
This was also around Monster Squad time, right? And like,
so they were trying to bring the old school back. They cross-pollinated, because
it was like VHS. I think the original uncut Frankenstein came out in like '87, so that was like right around here when this stuff was getting popular again. Yeah,
they were promoting that big too.
Okay, so. Yeah, originally, this old guy is a young, skinny punk rocker who practices black magic and brings Michael back, and it takes him a year to do it. Now, we got to watch this because the connotations of that's not what's going on are even more fucked up. So, old man, this fucking bird. This is like a crossover with Popeye. That's one of the sea shanty guys.
It's on the side of, It's one of the background guys.
This is what was going on with Popeye when
he left Sweet Haven. He left Sweet Haven for Haddonfield.
The Sweet Haven to Haddonfield connection. Okay, so Michael passes out, right? He gets down, takes off his mask because everybody gets to see Michael. Oh, no, he doesn't do it. Okay. But wait, here we go.
It gets close.
1 year later. Okay, wait, we got to do this first. So this is Haddonfield, Illinois, Salt Lake City. They talk about it at length in the Don Shanks commentary and the other commentary where the director brags about how, like, he threatened the Mormon cops with like pulling his $10 million of spending money or whatever. Like it's one hell of a flex, but all three of them. So Danielle Harris does it. The other little kid. Anyway, but no, we got to talk about this because there's an actual homage to a John Carpenter movie about the only one in this movie.
Some kid was murdered his sister in the beginning. And he was wearing a clown outfit too.
So that's how 4 ends, right? And you're like, okay, cool. It's going to be all about this killer little girl.
Yeah. Well, again, this was their idea of like kind of copying Friday 13th. Because Friday 13th was trying to like go over and
that's right.
Change hands. And it didn't happen.
Okay, so if the nurse looks familiar, it is the housekeeper from Die Hard.
Dude, she was a housekeeper in all the movies.
Well, right, but it's also of note because one of the dumb cops is one of the newscasters from Die Hard. Okay, so right. According to Don Shanks, that was drawn on him during the original opening. So the Thorn logo is not like a tattoo. It's a permanent marker. But he's just, hold on. So the pirate thing. Okay. He just woke up he's putting on his mask, right? And what's he going to... Okay, so then there's this... She's psychically connected, which actually isn't... Like, this is good. I mean, it's really...
It's kind of on the right track, and then it's just like they don't do anything with it.
And it's also kind of... Okay, but wait. So Michael had his mask off. He woke up. He walks over. It's 365 days later, and he kills the guy.
He knows it. He knows it.
Now, in the original version, it took Michael that long to wake up. In this version, the implication is he recovered. The old man took care of him. They lived together for a year. Then he woke up and killed the old man because it was Halloween, which is better than like anything else in the movie, even though it's really fucking stupid because it's Frankenstein or Brian Frankenstein unintentionally.
Think of that in the hands of Tarantino.
Oh. Well, yeah. Are you talking about the feet? Because she was just running down the stairs. So
just any of that.
All right. This is my favorite hospital in a movie because it's so clearly not a hospital. Like,
right.
What kind of hospital would you ever have a staircase like that to take a child down? Oh, shit. Here we go. So this movie is all about Loomis abusing this child who is his patient.
Pretty much.
And the commentary about it's hilarious because she's always like, yeah, he was drunk. He was really nice, but he was drunk. And then they're like, why is he yelling at you?
The booze.
And the director's like, he's yelling at you because you won't help him catch Michael. And he's like, I mean, he's a really shitty old man, but like, you know, that's what you got to do in the movie. Oh, God. Okay, the 80s thing doesn't start yet. We've still got one more scene. This reminds me of a USA Up All Night movie. Like, it's not even of the caliber of a...
But even those were kind of like, hey, you know, we're fucking with you. You know,
yeah, but a lot of them. But like, if they were running out and they played shitty stuff, because they did play some not TNA comedies, right? Like,
yeah,
they got that. You know, not on the Rhonda nights, but on the dude nights, on the Gilbert nights.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Right.
Yeah, he always plays stuff like this. Or some Larry Cohen stuff.
It feels less professional than a fucking Friday the 13th movie, which I didn't know was possible.
Well, there's The Burning, which was a straight ripoff. A couple other ones, like Silent Night, Deadly Night wasn't all that great.
No. I mean, yeah, but for a Halloween movie, it's kind of weird because, like, the production values declined from 4 to this.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's weird because the turnaround was quick. Like, they weren't gone too long before they shot this. I mean, you could tell, you know, there is age on them.
Yeah, the adoptive sister, she looks completely different.
And that's the thing. Like, they were kind of setting her up to be the new, you know, and it didn't happen. Because this.
I was reading a review of it, and they're like, look at the care of the writing of that. You're just like, But I mean, like, it doesn't even have the like, it doesn't even have the going to Freddy's hometown feel. Like, they do no setup of Haddonfield in this one.
Because this one here, it's so rushed that it shows.
Well, no, supposedly they cut an entire subplot about Jeffrey Landsman. So we'll try to talk about that later, but he says that there was a whole subplot about his like daily life. Stop laughing. It's got to be true. Nobody else remembers it.
You mean movie star Jeffrey Landman said so?
Yeah, totally.
Star of Halloween 5, the Revenge of Michael Myers.
So both the director commentary and Don Shanks talk about how well lit this movie is. And I'm like, what are you guys like talking about, right? Like Halloween 1 and 2 and like 3, those are the Dean Cundey ones. The last one aped that as best it could without Dean Cundey, right? Like it's the motif that they still use now. Like all of the comeback movies have used it to one extent or another. But they were like, no, that looked like shit. Let's make it look like, you know, a TV show. Like, and then the fucking music, like the, you know, the terrible 80s.
Oh, some of it isn't bad. I kind of like the mood music.
Oh,
They're
no, not the how. Yeah. But like when they had to get these songs for no money.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, I fucking just watched this movie called Ida Red. It came out this year. Josh Hartnett, Frank Grillo, Melissa Leo, like some rich kid.
Some people I haven't heard of in a long time.
Got to make a movie or whatever. But one of the songs they use is Crazy for You by Madonna. And I was like, this isn't direct. I mean, sure, it's direct to streaming, but like, you can afford Crazy to You.
Yeah, that's expensive. That had to be expensive, especially because it was wasn't it already on another soundtrack?
Doesn't matter anymore. Everything's cheap. It's fucking crazy. Okay, so hearing the director talk about the necessary TNA in the movie, like it's so fucked up because he's like this creepy French guy, and then you're like, you're talking about an 11-year-old girl like, sucking on your finger. This is weird. Like,
he sounds like he's talking about this like art film, the way he's done this.
Yes, and you're just like, what? That's not what an art film is.
It's Halloween 5, damn it.
Okay, so now starts. Sorry, we're missing the great Michael tracking her through the house or not sequence that I mean, it's where you realize that the movie's going to go completely off the rails because
it's not hard. It's the minute. Well, I don't want to, but for me, anyways, I'll tell you the exact moment. I just at one point, I think maybe the second or third time I watched this, and I said, "Fuck all." It's not yet, though.
Nope. Haddonfield, where you can run through the streets. But, okay, so that should have been a scary sequence. It's Halloween. Like, most of the movies have a sequence in a house that's supposed to be suspenseful and scary. And the scariest part about this is you're like, is that an old man next door a creep? Like, what's going on?
See, that's the thing.
Okay. The tall guy is the newscaster from Die Hard who they make fun of on the air.
Oh, that guy.
Bite Me Harvey. Yeah, it's Bite Me Harvey. Yeah, so that was intentional. And the director's like, yeah, somebody wanted it in there. I don't know, the producer or something. So we left it in. Okay, there's Jeffrey Landsman. What's his name? Or is it Timmy?
That's good old,
Is his name Timmy?
good old Billy.
Billy. I mean, like,
You're not supposed to laugh at him, but damn it.
well, no, like that. It's actually like if it were a kid's movie, like from their perspective, like that would be better. Like it wouldn't be quite as bad. Okay, so here's our first scene of how Donald Pleasence going to treat her. This is the best he treats her in the movie. It's going to get worse and worse and worse.
John Carpenter's The Miracle Worker.
Oh man, remember like that 6 months where everybody was recutting trailers? It's like, it started with the cute Shining one, and then everybody was making one. I can't remember. I made a few. That would be funny. John Carpenter's The Miracle Worker. It's just Donald Pleasence yelling at a child.
You tell me where the schoolhouse is. You ever see the Pippi Longstocking one?
Wait.
They make Pippi Longstocking a horror movie.
So, yeah, everybody on the commentaries talks about how great he is, and you're just like, acting's really changed in the last 20 years or something, isn't it? But it's like, that's the weirdest thing about the commentaries is you would think they would at least admit that Halloween 5 sucks, and none of them do. They're just like, no, it's great.
No, they just kind of, what's her face is just on cruise control. I think she was just like, hey, they're paying me for this.
Did she do it? She should have done a commentary on 6. Talked about how she wasn't fucking in it.
Just ridiculed the movie all the way through. Here's what I would have did.
I've always thought that was a better idea. Like for commentaries, you have somebody who the person who wasn't in it or something, like who fucking hate, like the
especially
alternative is
movies.
Right.
Like you get Wesley Snipes to do a commentary on like Major League 2 or some shit.
3. Omar Epps has to do the yes. Omar Epps does the 3rd one though. Okay, so the thought here is Michael has gone. And there you go. The heroine of the last movie has died. I mean,
that is the very moment when I said, fuck all of this movie. I just couldn't anymore after that. This just became another like random slasher picture.
Yeah. And it's like, the problem is Beau Starr was like good in the last one, right? Like he was a good character too. Like this is interesting, and he's not going to be in it except here and 2 other times. Like the cops have nothing to do with the Halloween night.
Well, they show up and then they,
I will say that I don't know if Donald Pleasence's crazy monologues are worse than Jamie Lee Curtis's in Halloween Kills. I'm not.
The thing is, Donald Pleasence does it so well because he's batty as shit when he, and when Jamie Lee Curtis does it, it's her doing kind of a bad,
It's just a bad narrator. It's not even, I don't even think.
And she's supposed to be an alcoholic, so.
So she's going to be the star of the movie, but not really.
And I just
the movie,
did, yeah. I shut the whole thing down.
The movie's going to be her because Rachel, nobody knows she's dead yet, right? What if they're playing this? They're playing the song from Halloween Kills that they were playing.
God.
We've got another Halloween Kills tie-in coming up that we noticed too. I'm telling you, Crisis on Infinite Halloweens. It's worth it. It's worth. I mean, it might be worth.
Michael versus Michael.
It might be funny. It might not be good, but it'd be funny.
Versus Rob Zombie Michael. Oh no.
So this is just this huge house, and it's never like, that's the thing, is it's never scary. It feels like it looks a episode of 30 something.
It looks like one of those Tori Spelling TV movies.
Right. Like, it's not
Fatal Temptation.
And so when I was like, oh, well, they were doing the best they could. I mean,
they didn't.
But they thought it was good. Like, I just don't get
moody
it.
Music. The music was moody, but well,
I mean, the sound editing's bad is some of the problem. Like, the music can only do so much. But I mean, this should have been an easy, good shot. And instead, the Steadicam's just too, I don't know, oily. And it is. Do we know either of their names? We do, right? I mean, that's the other thing. These are
Demi Moore.
These are Jamie's best friends. They're all best friends, basically. Because on the commentary, they talk about how, like, there were cut subplots about them, like, hanging out with her at the hospital.
And in 4, there's a cameo by the character Lindsay Wallace, who's never seen again until, I guess, Halloween.
I don't remember that shit. See?
Yes.
This is why we're doing this.
Exactly. We'll hit it when we do 4, but she's in it for like a hot second. She's one of Rachel's friends, and then I guess they did away with that. We got these two.
Okay. This is the music that makes me feel like it's a USA Up All Night movie.
Yeah.
Like,
coming up next,
Silk once we meet the boyfriends, yeah.
On USA.
This is all incredibly creepy when you find out the plan is for the dude to, like, for them to screw for the first time with the dude dressed up as Michael Myers on a haystack.
In a
barn, which is not a Young Frankenstein reference, which I thought it was because of the opening, but no, it's just, they thought it was a great location.
It's super
they wanted to do more with it. But then you just listen to Don Shanks' commentary, and he's like, yep, that's just me hanging out in the background playing with a butcher knife. Okay. Watching this, I was like, that's not how sound carries.
No.
And then,
where was he, like 10 blocks away?
There's never going to be the acknowledgement that this guy's a fucking wiener.
They look like they belong in a Levi's commercial.
A generic one.
Right. Button fly. Ugh.
He's just the worst.
He's the town's Fonzie. Like they really need one in Haddonfield.
That's the bridge that that Lindsay Wallace hid under in Halloween Kills. Okay, so that's super fucked up, right? Like, it'd be great if she could tell someone. Too bad she can't.
Right, she's still mute.
And the director says that Billy has a speech impediment because you can't have a girl with a speech impediment without her having a friend who's also got a speech impediment. And I was just like, holy shit, how does he not hear it? Like, the commentary's from like 2004. Like, I was just like, dude, that's really fucked up. Why did you just say that? Like,
see, now this shit here.
This should have been good. There's no reason this couldn't have been good. Okay, so if you'd made this like Return to Oz and it'd been about her fear of Michael and nobody believing her except for Billy and all this, but then had the other shit going on in the background and not have this cameraman or this director, and I don't know, got Donald Pleasence drunker. It could have been better than this. How about
this
that?
Here?
Better than what we've got.
This little bit here, I would have made it darker.
Right. I mean, this is like, what the hell are you doing in the basement? And wouldn't it be cool if he could sign? As opposed
then he turns around and says, shh, this is going to be our little secret, little girl. It just becomes something even worse.
It doesn't have like the teeth of a Nightmare on Elm Street. Like it doesn't have like the willingness to be up the inappropriate ante like Nightmare on Elm Street does.
It would be a literal struggle.
Hold on. Again, he's now physically abusing this child as he screams at her. Okay. Wait, he's going to assault her in a second here. Stop her. And he was drunk the whole time he did it. That's Danielle Harris's take.
He just, even Pleasence was just like, look, I do this in my sleep.
What's sad is that
you get this from the president of the United States from New York.
I remember the first time I saw The Great Escape, I was like, wait. Donald Pleasence was good once? And it's like, yeah, he was good. I was like, oh.
Well, he's keeping these afloat, though. When he was in them.
Die young, they mean that they don't grow up to be Donald Pleasence. So, yeah, he just terrified the child. So, but if they, played up him being a fucking drunk here, that would have helped too, right? Like.
Yeah. Because he's pretty much broken too at this point.
Here we go. The Man in Black.
Yeah, this is
also.
This was He
had to kick the dog, so everybody hated him.
And because Jason wouldn't kick the dog.
Oh, was that a thing? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. According to Kane Hodder, they said Jason was supposed to kick a dog in one of the Friday 13th movies. And he protested and said, hey, man, Jason doesn't kick dogs.
So this is the new Myers house. They talk about how it looks nothing like the other one because. So what's so fucking funny, and you forget, like, nobody gave a shit about continuity before you could just CGI in the old house, right? Like, we have continuity now because it's just the same computer file. But like, you didn't expect continuity between sequels at all in the 80s. Like,
no, because every sequel was dependent on
like them having
whether somebody really wanted to see another one of these fucking movies.
Right. But like, big scale Alien, small scale this. But then fucking one of the things that always made Lethal Weapon so legit was the house was always the same.
The house was the same. The kids were the same.
Everything was the same. Like,
they did it for Donner, though. That's the cool thing. I would say they did it for Donner. You know, you don't have directors like that.
Well, it also just made it like, because the diehards had that problem, right? Like, I mean, the problem's totally gone now. Like, because since Bonnie Bedelia hasn't been in it in a while, it's like, so she's not real, right? Like, we're in an alternate universe,
right?
Like,
well, ever since after 3.
3 was the last one you could get away with.
After 3, it's just the adventures of Bruce Willis, not John McClane.
Right. The adventures of Bruce Willis with a budget. So this is the basement that's going to be very important later. And, so we missed this. Apparently drawn all over the house are the thorn tattoo things on the wall, which would imply, though no one was trying to imply anything because the director didn't care about the thorn thing. That was something that was in there for the producer. But apparently they're all over the wall in the house, which would then imply that the punk had taken over had drawn up the Michael Myers house over the years, then happened upon him and brought him back from the dead. Like, okay, so were they supposed to be high school students? That's what I couldn't figure out.
It's
okay. But this is okay. So here's this whole car thing, and this is serious. Like, they're like, he just loves his great car, and you're just like, but it's not. It's like,
and he's a dick about it.
Oddly, that guy has gone on to nothing. Like,
yeah, I don't doubt it. He's he's probably the best grip in the business, though.
And then this guy,
damn,
I can't remember. He's like a creep or something. Like, there's something with the sex scene.
The John Ritter, Jim Carrey merging is complete, Doctor.
Oh my God. You can't look away once you see it.
Alrighty then, Janet.
How? Okay, hold on. That's a great idea, though. Yeah, Jim Carrey is Three's Company. Jim Carrey is Jack Tripper. It's a great idea. But he's Mr. Furley's age. So it's a Disney Plus series.
Oh God! Well, it would be Disney. Well, no, because Disney Plus, if it's Disney Plus or CW, somebody in that house is in a same-sex relationship for real. So, like, Jack would actually have to be gay, or Janet or Chrissy would have to be lesbian.
Yeah. No. Young Jack would actually be gay. And then it would be about Janet and Chrissy or something. But then that way, old Jack, real Jack, could be weird about it, like Mr. Furley, and then feel weird about being weird about it.
Well, when you watch the reruns, it almost seems like Furley is in denial of his own.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they pressed that so hard. Oh, God, that was such a bad
I was just
show.
glad.
So what I love about that shot is it's terrible. Why are we getting these over-the-shoulder shots of Michael? Like, you need to show him occasionally, right? Like,
yeah. The mask looks so bad.
It's so bad. The Smithsonian, you know.
Not that one.
That's what they say. The guy on the 5 says. The Shanks commentary, the moderator says. Okay, so they're having a Halloween party. So she's not so traumatized. She's not going to go to Halloween the next year.
See, now this is what I don't get. Like, she's so traumatized by Halloween, she shouldn't have any damn thing to do with Halloween, period.
Exactly. It's
and
weird.
They got her at this stupid, it's the dumbest.
So weird. They should have just got in with it, and they made her dress up like the fucking clown. And Donald Pleasence is like, no, girl must remember.
And here we have little Billy.
Billy in the pirate costume.
Hero of the film.
He's the young version of the guy in Halloween Kills. Obviously, he's Little John's. He's Little John. He changed it. They were Big John and Little John because that was their name of their car dealership. He's William John. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
William John Jones Johnston.
He's like Thomas Robin Blake or whatever, right? Like,
yeah, right. Thomas Robin Blake. I was like, okay, we get it.
Okay. It's the over the shoulder, it's the really tight over the shoulder POV shots from Michael. That's what it is. Like, it's just, it looks cheap. Everything looks like it's
and at this
intro. It's the teaser. It's the teaser on an episode of like a cop show. Like,
but this part is actually, there's a twist to this part because he's not wearing the Michael mask.
No. Open the door, Michael. So the funniest part is on the moderated commentary track. So by the guy who's a Halloween fan, Don Shanks is like, how the hell did Michael learn how to drive? That's so dumb. And the guy's like, yeah, it's dumb. And I was like, it's literally addressed in the first 10 minutes of the first fucking movie. Yeah. And the guy who owns HalloweenMovies.com doesn't remember that? Like,
well, you know, you can only know so much.
Uh-huh.
And know so little.
The mask. Oh my God.
Damn. It's the bum from Dick Tracy. The one that slapped around the kid before he got his ass. It's Rondo Hatton.
So now it's about...
I just wouldn't have been so mad if she got killed. Like, right here.
Right. But the other thing is that we've also had, like, the new Halloween movies come out, right? Like, so we have, like, we've gotten back into this idea of Michael Myers as the Shape, right? This is Michael Myers as, like, is he getting, like, horny for the girl? Like,
that's the thing. You kind of wonder, why did he spare her for so long?
Right.
Why did he drive around?
Joyriding around with her, like, on a date.
Uh-oh.
And she's calling him Mike. Like, And I was like, oh, that's a really weird, like, they thought of this. Like, the guy,
they could have gone with this
they did
some way.
something. It's something. Nope, that was all unintentional. Like, what? And then, okay, so as opposed to every other fucking movie where this happens, he's going to let her go get cigarettes. And so, like, what we're supposed to take from this is normal behavior for her boyfriend.
Yeah, she's not at all just like, hey, man, what the hell?
Oh. Okay, so that's a doctor saying that we need to do something to help the kid, and like, and Pleasence being like, nope.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, here it comes.
Oh, yeah.
The one kid you don't want to be your translator.
But, you know, that's the tragedy of the situation. You know, like, he can't talk either. Big woman who works in the store? No. So, Jeffrey Lanton said, people come up to him and go, giant cookies on the street. So everybody knows what that is. In Haddonfield. That's their famous billboard.
Right.
Okay, so Michael's done with that shit now. And now he's going to kill her.
And he took off the other mask, which really...
Yeah, because, like, this whole thing relies on her not seeing the other mask until she gets into the car, but she would have been able to see it walking over. Like, it's about Michael being a bad, sneaky killer, is what it's about.
Useless Haddonfield police with their non-matching squad cars.
And then he peeled off. Like... And like, that's like a weird scene. Like, that would be weird to, like, you know, shoot. Like, he does a terrible job with it, but like, he didn't have to. Like, if it were for her, from Tina's perspective in the shop or something, or at least had it,
yeah,
it wouldn't have been like, what the fuck did I just watch?
This is so not earned.
So weird. So uncomfortable.
Mm. On Hallmark.
I can't stay with you, little girl. I know you're scared, but when you're older, you need to get drunk and laid.
Yeah, you got to get drunk and laid on Halloween.
That's what the holidays
There's
for.
no such thing as weekends when you're a teenager.
So shitty. Like, okay, so this kid has been abandoned by her adoptive parents. Her mom is off living in California with Josh Hartnett as a kid. And then...
And all she's got left is Billy.
Right. And like, nobody fucking cares about this poor kid. Like, it sucks.
This is the point where you just throw your hands up and say, you know what? Bring it on, Michael. It can't get any worse.
As he waves his cane at them. Doo-doo. Funny.
And she still wants to party.
Well, you got to go to the Tower Farm, man. It's the most happening spot. And then Billy's like looking out the window and he's like, wow, this girl has only shitty people in her life. Like, that's so fucked up.
No, you're kidding? Billy's like, this is my time to shine, baby.
Stop being cynical about Billy.
This is what I do best.
Okay,
I want to rescue this little girl.
The man, what does the man in black have in his shopping bag? Do we find out?
The shotgun at the end, right? That's what I thought. I don't think it's anything else.
No, that was a pop scare. You didn't. Why didn't you jump? That was actually a pop scare. They actually hit each other, and then there was music. What more do you want from a pop scare? Okay, so originally Tina was going to be dressed up as the devil, but then they said you couldn't have the female hero dressed up as the devil for so long.
We'll just have her dressed as a hoe.
So instead, she's a vampire clown or whatever.
She's Demi Moore from St. Elmo's.
Oh my God. You haven't seen that in 24 years.
You know what was cool? When Channel 7 used to play shit like that?
Yeah.
On Saturday nights.
Yeah. Or like the Thursday night, the one you watched when you needed to get up for school.
Yeah.
And
they would always have that shit on late.
It would be good because they'd cut 20 minutes out of it. And so it'd be better than the TV cut than when you try to watch it later.
Oh shit. I remember the cut of RoboCop was roughly 45 minutes without commercial. Because they cut so much out of the original TV cut.
Okay, so it's 1 year after Michael Myers came back and killed people, and they never found the body. And
these kids just don't give up.
They planned that. That was their fucking plan the whole time.
Yeah.
Which I just realized in a, what was it? Not Jason Lives, New Blood type way. This guy has been dressed up as Michael Myers all day. What's to say he wasn't in the car driving What's-Your-Face around? Mm-hmm. Maybe he's the paramedic. Who done it? I think it was the paramedic.
They could have, at this point, bringing Michael back specifically is kind of the least creative thing to do with these. And the Friday the 13th Part 5 thing probably would have worked better here.
Yeah, I think what if you've done that for some of Halloween 3, right? What if you didn't get so pissy about it? Okay, hold on. So these kittens were trained. Did you watch Tiger King?
The first one or the new one?
The first one.
Yeah, I saw the first one.
Okay, the blonde-haired dude with the chicks all the women, the young women in Florida, Doc, whatever. He's the trainer on this.
Oh,
his daughter was the kitten trainer, and the director's talking about what a fucking great guy he is. He's like either in prison or like a fugitive of the law. Like after Tiger King, he
was the polygamist, right?
Yeah, he was a polygamist, and like, consent wasn't really his thing. Yeah.
He was on there talking that mad shit, talking all, I have all these wives, and I live here, and we all live in their own houses. It's like, okay, dude.
Trainer on this. Yep. That's the director thinks he's a great guy. That sort of tells you some things. Okay. So.
Thrillsville 21.
Okay. So. It's the steady cam. It's like not like no deliberate fucking horror movie shots is weird, right? Like
no tension whatsoever.
Right. Like this is not like,
this reminds me. This is with the cats. It reminds me of that stupid USA movie. Remember Strays?
I don't think I ever
with the killer cats.
Yeah, with the killer cats. Okay. They talk about how great the lighting is in this scene. They're like, it looks so good. Like, Richard whatever did this and that, and it was so great. And it's like, no. It's like,
just filtered through the slits.
Right, like,
anybody would have done that.
Yeah, it looks shitty. Like
that's like
it looks like a Mentos commercial. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
looks like Kevin Bacon's about to start anger dancing in there.
Right, exactly. Like,
never.
Okay. So the director talks at length about how he hired this girl because she looked good with her clothes off. And then by the time they got to this scene, she was like really uncomfortable with it, but she'd signed the contract. So who the hell did she think she was? And I was like, oh God, it's like the Caddyshack story all over again.
Oh yeah. Well, she didn't want to. Right. Yeah. Remember that.
So to it seems like there was some issue with blonde Jim Carrey because like she wouldn't let him touch her. Like the director's like, well, I had to do it. And he's like, French and Swiss. And I'm like, of course you had to do it. Like, that's the auteur theory, right? Like, but yeah. So yeah, there you go. Roll in the hay. It's got to be a Young Frankenstein thing. Like, of course, right? No.
Oh, wow. This is kind of, like I say, there's no tension. No,
just terrible fucking 80s.
No, if we enter the scene and I show
dynamics.
The bomb under the chair, we know there is a bomb in the room.
Okay, I'm going to make a statement, and I'm not going to, admit to it until the next time it comes up. But obviously, Halloween H40 and Halloween Kills are much better directed than this movie. Like, I'll just point that out. Like, obviously.
But this is low budget, fucking sloppy 80s.
Right. So I'm just, but I will not.
This was on a cocaine bender. Right?
It's so weird.
All of them were.
This is where it went, right? Into this, like, somehow cheaper than Friday the 13th type thing, right? Like,
yeah, because
but it started as fucking, John Carpenter's Halloween, right? Like that effect that started being such a great influence in the filmmaking style of it in the late 90s. But immediately following it, people just didn't give a shit. It's like, Jaws is great because Jaws is like really well directed, fucking scary. Yeah. And then you make Jaws the Revenge, and you're like, what the fuck is that? Like, did you ever see the first one? Like, it was only 12 years ago.
Yeah. It's almost like, what the hell? How did you go from this to this? But again, like the 80s were just, what can you say, man? Mountains of cocaine had a lot to do with decisions that were made.
We watched Tango and Cash, like, I don't know, at the beginning of the pandemic. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Yeah.
Tango and Cash, it plays like an expensive pilot to a show that NBC could never afford.
That's the best possible read on the situation. But no, it plays like a gay romance. It plays like a gay romance. Yeah.
Well, they're like they're touch and go with each other.
Listening to the commentary, and I can't remember if it was Don Shanks or I don't think it was the director that was that like aware of it. But Don Shanks was, holy shit, that'd be so traumatizing to the girl. Like, didn't anybody think about how traumatizing it would be to be like an actress who had to sit there while like pretending to get fucked and then the guy to get killed? Like, he was like, that was weird. And you're like, yeah, it was the 80s. Nobody cared.
She was kind of the one sympathetic kill.
She was sympathetic. Because she wasn't in it long enough to hate it.
Right.
And
she wasn't that annoying.
People. Right. She was stuck with, she's like Jamie. She's stuck with shitty
people around her. Yeah. Okay, these guys have to go.
I'm also going to make the odd observation until Resurrection. I don't think you can actually do a Halloween movie in the 1.85 or whatever, the 16:9. It has to be the Panavision. It just doesn't. Like, I don't know what it's. The screen's not. You can't make it small enough to put Michael ominous enough in the background, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
He needs to be smaller than he can be on this screen. I mean, somebody could do it. A good person could do it. Not this guy, but a good person. But
props for them not getting like a meatball like Kane Hodder turned into after a while.
No. Don Shanks seemed pretty like
Hodder turned into such a hedgehog by Jason X. It's like, who's this chubby fucking
well, how would you even know?
Jason coming at me.
Treating Michael like the shark, man. Halloween 5 with Jaws music.
That's what it kind of became after a while. Because there's no deeper gist to him in this. He's just,
like, what? And then there's like the cat. It's like, what the fuck's going on? Why are you covered in blood?
For real.
And clearly licking it up because it's a cat. Like, come on now.
Right, because the cat is just yum, yum, yum.
The cat would be thrilled. And then Michael did some really shitty body storage.
No, wait. It's just another prank. You and your friends are assholes like that, remember? How come she just didn't say, okay, come on, you guys, get up,
Right. Like, the whole thing could have
been asshole kids to begin with. So
right. They could have all been about pranking. It could have been Scream. They had Scream 10 years earlier. They were too fucking stupid to do it. And then we've got Michael in the car, which is not. Oh, is this the shot? Yes. Okay. So.
No.
Oh, you know what they couldn't afford? They couldn't afford a crane. No, that's what it is. That's why there aren't any fucking assembling shots. They couldn't afford a crane.
Well, I think, a fancy little French director guy, he wanted to make it look as flat as possible because, small town.
It's when you use a crane. It's a crane. It's like, are they a swamp? Like, what's it?
Right. Suddenly they're in the bayou. So,
it's intercut with the chase scene from Return to Swamp Thing.
Right. Those bayous in the middle of Illinois.
Right. This is the reflection shot or whatever. Oh, did we already? Yeah, there we go. Where he's driving on the wrong side of the car. And people are like, I'm surprised nobody got more confused about that because it looks like nobody's driving the car and Michael's, in the passenger seat. I'm like, no, it looks like it's fucking flipped and he's driving on the other side of the car. It doesn't look like a ghost is driving him. He's clearly driving. It's flipped. Don't pretend. Fix it. This movie's been out how many times? Like, fix it. You could have just flipped the frames. That's literally all you would have to do. So now we've got like the fucking. That's what. Oh God! All right. So, Curse of the Cat People is about the 1944 Curse of the Cat People is about the daughter of the guy from the first one, but not the cat woman of the first one because he dumped her because she wasn't white enough and he had to get with the blonde girl, which is actually the plot of Cat People. It's really shitty. But then in the sequel, the little girl's sad because she has shitty white parents in 1945 or whatever. And she's haunted by the ghost of...
I remember being so disappointed by that one.
But they're like friends, right? And so this... like almost is like that kind of story for Jamie, but it's not because it sucks. And I'm just like, but if you could have done it, you actually could have done this. Didn't have to be bad. Like, even if you didn't turn Jamie into the killer, right? And she was like, Danielle Harris on the commentary is like, that sucks because I thought we were going to team up. And I was like, it'd be fucking crazy. It's Michael Myers.
She was ready for it.
And his 11-year-old niece killing people together. Like, that would have been
something
crazy.
Else, man.
Yeah. They could go hunt Josh Hartnett and Jamie Lee Curtis because she abandoned her for the better kid. Exactly. It's great.
They could just bring it all together in the end.
Right. It is also Curse of the Cat People. But even if you stuck to not doing it, you could fix this up. This doesn't have to be that bad.
Just do it. Right in the...
All of the stabbings are terrible, and it's like basically they just didn't have the prosthetics budget.
No, they did. You could tell.
They just
in the shoulder. In the shoulder. I died from a shoulder wound.
I took her arm from the shoulder.
That shoulder.
You'd think she'd be used to this after the first movie, right? Like, I'm just saying.
It's so numb to just
but then he very obviously sneaks up on the children, like intentionally. He's a dick. But then, speaking of him being a dick, Donald Pleasence is going to yell at the forest with lines from Halloween Kills about it's time to go home, Michael, which they talk about in Halloween Kills. Like this, Halloween Kills recycles a thread.
Yeah, they take a lot from everything. Like you could probably patch together a script for Halloween Kills from every single Halloween movie that's been made.
But he's gonna yell at the forest. What?
It is not covered up.
No, why would you do that? You need to traumatize the child again. What year do you think this is? It puts hair on her chest.
That's right. Haddonfield is so inept. Like, they just have no compassion or anything.
Well, no, they let this kid, psycho, drunk psychiatrist, tell them what to do about everything. Like,
they got to drop a nuke on Haddonfield.
Okay, so here it is. He's going to yell at the woods. And he made Don Shanks stand out there because he felt silly yelling at nothing.
It actually would have made more sense if it was just the woods. Or you might have heard him breathing or something.
Right. It also would be cool if he threw him food and led him to the house.
Trail of waffle.
Yeah, there you can see him. Okay. Yeah, and it ruins it. It's like you can fucking you've been doing Michael point of view shots the entire damn movie. Do one more. Like, go home. This is the third act of Halloween Kills. It's when they realize that he's going to his house.
He's going home. Of course, they needed a whole fucking map.
Hold on. He just told Michael to kill his patient, his little niece. She's waiting for you. Find her. He's using the child as bait.
Wait, that's the Myers house, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's when it expanded. And there's good old what's his face that always plays the sheriff.
Troy Evans.
Evans. Yeah.
He had the best career after this movie. Troy Evans.
He's the only one who made it out smelling like a rose.
Best career of anybody.
Best career playing every
movie.
Small town sheriff.
Who's like never bad. He's always likable. Like he can be kind of dumb, but he's got a heart of gold.
Yeah, he's gruff but fair.
And then they've got SWAT, and they pull SWAT off. And I was like, damn it, I thought we were going to have Michael versus SWAT.
Well, if Halloween Kills taught us anything, cops can't do nothing against Michael. Firemen can't do anything against Michael. So.
Definitely not fire. Definitely not. The cops don't really try. That's the thing about
firemen with saws. Saws and axes can't do shit.
But no, I just realized that the cops don't actually ever go after Michael. There's like one or two of them who go with at the mob at the end. But no, otherwise they don't go.
The cops just are like, we know about this.
Okay, so
see.
there it is. There is the thing. Yep. Okay,
right there.
So who drew it there? Not Michael, right? Like they should have done
Loomis
it.
Did it. Loomis was just like, I was trying to draw a boat.
Not to be too crude about what's going to be the reveal of the next movie about Thorne. But yes, you can see now, in order to stop the evil, Michael must fuck his niece.
Oh, it was so bad. They couldn't pick anything else.
Okay, so now we get all the cops, and they're all.
It looks like the end of E.T. Shit. We're going to digitally remove these guns because Halloween 5 is too violent enough.
No, they don't have a crane. This makes no sense. They don't have a crane. They don't have one.
No.
They couldn't rent a cherry picker. Like it's that okay. It makes more sense now.
Something from like, wouldn't it be a great shot to just crane up to like the top of the house or something?
Well, what's as funny is if all those cop cars started hitting each other.
Oh, it's kind of cool. He's got an Illinois patch on his jacket.
Okay.
At least somebody was being authentic. Fuck.
I don't think that was the car they rear-ended.
No. It's one of the cops from Police Academy.
Wouldn't it have made more sense if you'd like established your connection with him at some point before the next Halloween? Like, and it was like, that's why she wasn't able to recover from like at all from any of her traumas and her step-parents abandoning her and her uncle being a murderer and her doctor being a drug, whatever. But like, still, like, you could she wouldn't have had to be mute at the beginning. You would have resolved that.
Please?
Something very wrong with your doctor. Very wrong with your doctor.
Oh, see, now that shot.
That was when Michael was crawling on the ground and looking up.
Is that the house? Is that the house from the movie House?
Nah, wait.
It almost looks a little like it.
It's probably
It looks
next
similar
door.
to it.
Oh, and they make such a big deal about this scene. They're like, oh, Michael and Loomis standing so close to each other and talking. And I was like, wasn't this one of the scenes they made fun of for years? Like,
yeah, there was because this was the one. This killed Halloween for a little while.
This killed Halloween for
a couple years.
Like,
yeah, because the next one didn't come out till like 95.
It was like a year late, but it was 95.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, like, it fell
This
apart.
Is what, 80, 89, 88?
88, 89, I think. Yeah,
because it was a year after the first one. Or 4.
Okay, so now Loomis is saying somehow the little girl can cure him.
Look at that mask.
The mask is so bad you can't even tell the head's turning. Like, it's so bad.
Jeez.
Halloween. It took us 40 years to replace a Captain Kirk mask. That's how important William Shatner is.
That's not a William Shatner mask. That's the looks like David Carradine. You see it? Watch when they show him.
I see it. Yes.
or Christopher Walken.
Oh, slow motion.
Yeah, because this was definitively it for a minute for Halloween.
Mm-hmm. And he was going to be done. Pleasence was going to be done again.
Because Pleasence, he said, I'm out. That's it.
As one slow Michael walk. He must have spent a while turning around. Okay, maybe it's because this guy's actually nice to her. Like, she's the third person in this movie who's nice to her.
Yeah, who actually tried to help her out. God.
I can't aim.
Haddonfield police suck. Oh, there was also a shot of the thorn on the wall there.
No, see? And now he's fine.
He just beats poor Troy Evans. God damn it.
Yep.
Oh. Oh, wow.
Okay, so now Jeffrey Landsman said that when they filmed this scene, they forgot to call him, but he was supposed to be here to establish that he was still alive. So Billy lives to grow up to be Little John.
Little John, yeah.
Yep.
He loves pirates. William Jonathan.
It ties in with the bird. His grandfather is the guy in the shack at the beginning who brings Michael back. He had the pirate bird. It's all connected. Okay. This is the other one where they're like, the lights are so good. It's like, no, they're not. It's like, there's spotlights on the fucking house. Like, that's not.
It looks like Night of the Demons.
Okay, so this is post Die Hard, right? But anyway, they really made her do this, and it was completely unsafe.
Yep, because
it was going to be more dangerous.
Yeah, it was
and
the 80s.
Don Shanks was like, "I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that."
It was the 80s where he just did not give a fuck.
They just did not care about children.
Kids are animals.
No.
Kids are animals. Remember Milo and Otis? Have you ever heard of the tragedy of Milo and Otis?
Dudley Moore would have made a great Loomis in a spoof.
Probably. On like Saturday Night Live or some shit. Yeah, Siskel and Ebert had a problem with this too. They hated not only, I guess, slasher films, but children in danger. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure they said a mouthful about this one.
It's weird. That's like, isn't that half of the Blumhouse movies is little kids in danger, right?
Kids in danger or kids just being like murderized in fucking awful ways. Wasn't that one movie? Hereditary or some shit? God damn. That shit.
Okay. So once he starts stabbing it, that's really her in there.
Yep. Come here.
I mean, I guess I get it because, like, she has no, like, agency the way, like, the traditional final girl has because she's a kid, ostensibly.
So you gotta have, you have to be like, I know they're not gonna kill this fucking kid.
I guess what that means, well, that also means she's not going to try to kill him. Everybody else always like tries to kill Michael or Jason or something, but the little kid,
that's kind of the weird thing here.
She should be fine with it. She tried to kill her stepmother or adopted mother. Just saying, like,
to see her little girl, little Danielle Harris, you'd have to have her just go like straight up Corey Feldman at the end of Friday 13th 4.
Yeah.
And just die. Or he just takes her, away at the end or whatever.
Yeah.
But there was obviously no plan after this one.
No, it sounds like, because like it was already clear the director wasn't coming back for another one, or like there was no talk about him doing another one, but they were trying to like put together the next one as it went. But yeah, there we go. Just Cops of Haddonfield.
They just took a clip from the Blues Brothers and put it in there.
Oh,
we can't afford any more footage of cop cars.
Or you do it where she's like living in the house with Michael and like having to escape from him like all the time. Like they have like
kind of like a weird Home Alone thing where she's trying to evade him.
It's like Alien.
Right.
She's new, but like there's only one alien, and they like become friends. That would have been cool.
That would be different.
Doing the Halloween movies in one night has been like a bad idea since. I don't know. Like that can't be one of the most. It's too hard to do. It's like there's a reason you can only get away with 2 or 3 diehards because you can't just keep doing them. And this is like
you can't. Oh, and the biggest mistake of the damn franchise right here. Wonder how she felt about that.
She'd be one of the other people you'd want to get to do the commentary on this. I think she did one on 4.
She did 4. She did 4 with Danielle Harris.
Yeah, this is the one you bring back to do 5. And so what's he doing? They were like, it really bothered the little kid to crawl into the child coffin, but we made her do it.
Hold up. Wait a minute. When did he have time to bring all these bodies all the way up there? Between the killings.
Because the guy in the car was actually Spitz. He was going to assault his friend's girlfriend.
Probably. I could see that.
Yeah, like that would give Michael time. Okay, so apparently there was advertising at the time that said we were going to see his face in this one.
I remember that.
Okay.
I remember that.
So
the big review.
Don Shanks was like, they're going to show my face because, like, me and Danielle Harris, basically, we look like we could be related. And then the director on his commentary track was like, they can't be related. He's Native American or whatever. And it's just like, what the fuck? Also, like, they do look like they could be related. See? Like,
yeah. The dark hair.
Yeah. Like, that's all it has to be for a second. Now, Don Shanks remembers that he was told that the man in black was going to be Michael's twin brother.
Oh,
and
wow.
that
Oh.
the director was like, the producer was like, I need a, villain for the next one. And he's like, Michael Myers doesn't have a brother, though. We could use Michael Myers as his brother, but he doesn't have one. And the director was like, why not? Just give him a brother.
Because then he'd have to kill him, too.
No. One of them would be out in the world. One of them would be out in the world. No, because they never established the birthday rules, right? They don't have any killing rules in this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play a game. Catch the little girl. That's what this movie is.
God, look at that mask.
It's Loomis
Jesus.
trying, using the little girl as bait.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now he's shooting him with tranquilizers, which means he never planned on killing him. So Loomis also had time to set this up, right? So the other movie is they both are going in and out of the house, and they just keep missing each other. One of them is bringing in the dart gun. The other one's bringing bodies upstairs. It's like, too close for comfort. It's the too close for comfort theme. Yeah.
It's a too close for comfort crossbred with a Three's Company episode. Can't we just keep missing each other?
What a good doctor. Well, and then at some point, I think on the director commentary, or maybe it was Don Shanks, somebody made the comment that they were like, wait, is this about Loomis trying to kill him because of something he did to Michael when he was a kid? And I was just like, wait, what the fuck? Like, that could be the Malcolm McDowell one, but like.
Oh, see, Malcolm, they kind of established, because everybody's an asshole in the Rob Zombie universe, that it was kind of justified with Malcolm McDowell.
So supposedly that was the end of the movie, was, according to the director, that's how he wanted to end it. Loomis passing out on Michael's chest.
And I would have been fine with that. Not a problem, but
instead,
they
let Michael keep his mask. So, like, in this movie,
he's super villain now.
In this movie, he's not even like unkillable, right? Like, we have not established that they can't kill him. They're not worried about him that way, right? So, like, why aren't they taking off his fucking mask? Like.
No. Because that's not Haddonfield. Oh, well, it is Haddonfield Police Department.
It is Haddonfield, right there.
It's the basement of Arkham Asylum.
Now, do those have the Illinois patch? I don't think they do.
No, it's just Haddonfield Police. I think what's his face? It's Troy Evans one was the only one I think it had.
So this is the Terminator. Sorry, what?
Yeah. Most definitely. Sarah Connor. Where's Paul Winfield and Lance Henriksen when you need him?
Exactly. I'm like crawling across the floor to him. Now, he also shot out all the lights. He shot out all the lights. Except now there's the light coming in.
They never stood a chance, huh? So what made the Man in Black, like, bulletproof or whatever the fuck?
He just had a machine gun, so he was fine. They just weren't ready. They just weren't ready for him. We saw them. They were stupid. Like, of course they weren't going to be able to.
Well, yeah, they're fucking Haddonfield cops.
They didn't. I don't think they made Beau Starr play dead though. I didn't see him anywhere. Like,
you know what? Now that I think about it, cross Halloween with Police Academy.
It explains so much.
Haddonfield needs some good cops. But no, see, the Police Academy cops actually catch Michael Myers. They successfully catch and detain him because that's like the thing. And there he goes. He's gone.
Was it order of appearance so it can be all the people from the last movie there first?
They did it on purpose like that.
I mean, so did Halloween Kills. They made it seem like the original cast members were going to appear in flashbacks, and then they shocked you by actually having the people in it. Fat Sniper, that's a nice credit. Like,
Michael Myers, played by Donald L. Shanks. In a reasonably decent rendition of the Halloween theme. It's not horrible.
No, it's not. It's surprisingly okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why nobody ever thought there'd be a good Halloween movie again.
Yeah, because they kind of threw in the towel after this one.
Well, and this must have been such a disappointment after 4. Like, 4 actually not being...
4 was so good.
Right, like... You could actually do... 4 was, like, actually able to do it. Like... And you hadn't had that for since 81, right? And you'd seen all the other franchises take off, and it was like Halloween just never could get their shit together. But they couldn't even get their shit together to make fucking movies. Like, that was the thing. Like, they couldn't figure out how to make them profitable. Like, meanwhile...
All this shit was fueled by cocaine back then.
They were at least able, like, they never, when fucking Friday the 13th movies stopped making money, they stopped making them, right?
Yeah.
Like, they had to stop making these because they got so bad. So Michael Lookinland, first assistant director, Bobby Brady worked on this movie.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Lookinland.
Yep. Pre-Brady's. Just a year before the Brady's. It must have been right after.
That did suck. You and me are probably the only people in the world that actually watched.
The Brady's, I believe, are included on the box set that came out a couple years ago. I got it from my sister. I haven't watched it yet. I don't know if I can do it, but I at least want to watch Christmas special.
They have the Marsha's drunk episode on on YouTube.
Res Saraband CDs and tapes.
Yeah, they used to be deep into them back in the days. They did a lot of good scores.
So Galaxy International. I'm not sure what else they released, if anything.
Right.
But that was like the weird thing about Halloween was that it didn't have a studio, right? So it was like the only one of the horror franchises without one.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's Halloween 5. I don't think you should watch it.
It sucks.
I don't ever have to watch that movie again now.
Ever. Or at least, sometimes I would watch it after 4, but you get mad when you see this one after 4. It's one of those things we watched it. We did this for whoever's out there who wanted to watch it or either couldn't.
Yes. This should serve as a reason not to watch Halloween 5, but also if you watch Halloween 5 and you're like,
We're doing you guys a service out there.
With this movie.
Yeah, the movie sucks.
This is for you. This one was for you. You're not alone out there in thinking
no charge.
the mask belongs to the Smithsonian and the lighting was good.
It was the Michael Myers bell-bottom mask.
Oh, so
the way
bad.
that shit flared out at the bottom.
It's because he had to keep taking it off. He took it on and off throughout the episode. Like, he took it off in the car. He took it off for the niece. He put it on at the beginning. Like, the neck was just gone on it. It was a bad mask.
I guess you could say, yeah, since it was supposedly the same mask from the year prior. So there might have been wear on it, but
it went through the water, you know.
But, in real life, that shit just would have been a pile of Play-Doh at a certain point.
So sadly, the technology does not exist now. But imagine if. Okay, so Halloween 5, the pirate guy, the hermit at the beginning, he's got like a pirate face tattoo of some kind, like a Snapchat filter. And then for the rest of the movie, it's on Michael's. He painted it on Michael was painting his masks. Like in the Rob Zombie ones. What if Michael made pretty masks? That's the God. You just did it with like the Snapchat filter thing. And that was just the whole movie. The whole movie is walking around with like a My Little Pony eyes on his mask.
Yeah, big old anime eyes on his shit.
Oh, I still wouldn't watch Halloween 5 if somebody did that. I'd watch the preview for it. So Halloween 5, I'd say the biggest loser, besides everybody watches it, is Danielle Harris, who went from being the Scream Tween.
Yeah, Scream
Tween to losing her job. So
she was
next time on 709 Meridian.
All right.